Alright guys, what is up? I hope everybody's had a lovely day, but I'm coming at you with yet another new series. Well, if people are just quick heads up, people are wondering why I decided to pump out two more new series while I haven't finished any of my series as it is that, well, unless the viewers say otherwise, I'm planning to drop the King's Vessel series as I didn't really like it as much as the rest of my other series. I'm still planning on I'm definitely going to continue Swamp Thing and Senku, so don't worry those who love those series. It's just I decided to take a break from those for a while. Well, not for a while, but for the next few days I might not upload those series, but I'm starting two or three new series as I released yesterday. So this is getting quite long as trying to explain. Um, those who want to hear more of an explanation, I will talk about it more at the end of the video. But yeah, anyway. So this what if is going to start at kindergarten, as there was two very different boys having a bit of a scuffle. One was a green-haired boy, and one was a blonde-haired boy. The blonde boy was trying to beat down on the little green-haired lad, as, well, the green-haired boy was putting up a fight. He was punching back, and had a smile while doing it. "You can't beat me, Kachan." "Oh, you're not going to beat me, Deku. What have I told you about calling me that, Kachan?" As the boys keep fighting and fighting as everybody's gathering around. The caretakers try and split them up as Bakugo is getting angry and slams his hands together as a big puff of smoke starts emerging. As the caregivers are now amazed and said, "Oh, it is Quirk. It's awakened. Someone call his parents. We need to get him to the doctors immediately." As Bakugo just starts having a big grin on his face as he just says, "See, Deku, I'm better than you. I've got my Quirk and you got nothing. You're just Deku." The blonde boy keeps running his mouth, and Izuku really wasn't actually fazed by this. He didn't care about his words at all. It didn't matter to him, because he knew he was stronger and better than Bakugo. Now, after as the next day rolled around, Bakugo game over to Deku and said a few things to start up a conversation. Well, more to start a one-way fight. "Well, wouldn't you know, Deku? Looks like my Quirk is going to be amazing. The doctors told me I'm going to become the best hero they've ever seen. Just look at this," as he reached his hands out and small explosions started crackling in his hands. "See, that is the reason why I'm going to become a hero, and you're just going to stay a useless Deku." Deku snaps back and says, "Well, while you might have a flashy quirk, Kachan, you don't exactly have the best attitude for it." As Bucko starts cracking his knuckles. "What'd you say, shitty nerd?" "You heard me." "Well, aren't you a hero? I see you more as a villain. As you take that back, you damn nerd." "If you want me to take it back, Kachan, you better fight me." As the two boys scuffle again, as punches were thrown, kicks were flung at each other, and, eventually they had to be broken up by the teachers. They said, "Alright, call the boys, mother, they must be sent home now." As, right right at that time, something strange happened. Bakugo was yanked out of the air. Well, into the air. As the caregiver goes, what the hell? As they all started looking at Izuku, who was staring at his hands. Did he just awaken his quirk? Too? Wait, what the hell? As Izuku just starts laughing and pulls his hand again as Bakugo starts flying towards him. As Izuku steps to the side and Bakugo just hits the wall behind him, getting back up and go, "Ah! You shitty nerd!" As Izuku just starts laughing. What's so What's so funny, you damn nerd? Oh, just seeing you fly into that wall's made my day. Man, if I only had a phone, I could take a picture and save it forever. Looks like I sent you flying. Why you couldn't put a scratch on me in that fight? Uh, it's like, you didn't do that. It's someone else. I'm sure it's one of these nerds. You can't have a quirk. You're just useless Deku. And it says, I'm not quite so sure about that, Kachan. As he pulls his hand up and pulls his finger towards him, then yanks it back. As Bucko's face just goes, "Ah! What the hell?" As, well, his Deku's finger slowly starts turning, at the tip of it slowly starts turning pink as pink aura starts emitting from the top of it, almost like a light. As, slowly but surely, that light goes and follows a see-through trail all the way to Bucko's face. Wow, this is certainly an interesting quirk. Huh. As he tugs his finger again and pulls Bakugo's face. Hey, this is quite fun. As he keeps pulling and pulling and pulling. As Bakugo just like, quit it! It's like, hey everybody, look, he's a paddle bowl. As he keeps pulling his finger back and forth as Bakugo's head starts yanking and forward and back, forward and back. Everybody's just laughing as Bakugo just says, "You'll pay for this." Oh, don't worry, I'm paying in laughter. As he pulls his face once again, as Bakugo just had enough and just started rushing at him and started punching Deku over and over and over again in a blind fury. As the two boys, their their mothers had just came through and ran to break them apart. As Inko's just saying, "Izuku, what is wrong with you? Why are you starting fights again?" He said he was stronger than me. So I was gonna test him. Anybody who says they're stronger than me deserves a beating. After all, I must prove myself better than them. As Mitsuki just walks over to Bakugo, slaps him on the head, and makes him bow to his teachers, and says, sorry, Inko, it happened again. I forgot to discipline my brat as she smacks me on the head again. Ah, Mom, what was that for? You bitch. As, Mitsuki slaps him harder again. Say that again, you little brat, I fucking dare you. He's like, duh. As he starts rubbing his head and also his face, as the pink aura had, faded. And then, Inko decided, alright, we must go get your quirk tested out. So, come with me, but you're grounded, young man. Okay. doesn't really bother me anyway. I want to see what this new power holds. As well, are well, the two are inside the Quirk Council. Well, not the Quirk Council, the Quirk Doctor's office. As the Quirk Doctor says, "Well, ma'am, your son has a very unique quirk. It seems to be a mutation of your telekinesis. However, it's mutated in a strange way." What do you mean, mutated in a strange way? Well, unlike your ability to pull objects towards you, it seems that he's able to make a physical link that has a gum-like texture and seems to have a very elastic nature to it. So it's more like he's able to create a link between two objects and uses that to that's what he was able to pull that boy's face as you described. As he just says, "Young man, touch this with your finger and try to put one of those links onto this apple here." As the doctor puts out an apple in his hand and says, "Go ahead, touch it." As Izuku puts his finger on it, and the pink light appears again. As well, Izuku is pulling his finger back and away from it. "Now, young man, I want you to think of it as being very tough. Well, very springy." As well, Izuku thinks of it, and all of a sudden the apple snaps forward and into his hand. As Inko says, "Oh wow. So these links, why do they act a certain way?" Well, it seems that he's able to control the properties of it. He's either able to make the link very soft and not very elasticy, or he's able to change the elasticity of it and make it snap back just like we had seen. As well, as the doctor was trying to think of a name to call it. Well, this is certainly a strange one. I don't know what to call it. Link? As Izuku just says, "How about bungee gum?" The doctor just looks a bit confused. Bungee gum? Why that name? Well, yeah, it's very much like the consistency of rubber and gum. As, well, the doctor couldn't, well, disagree and says, "Alright, kid, your quirk shall be called bungee gum." As Deku just has a big smile on his face and is like, "Now that's a name for a well, that's a quirk name for a hero, that's for sure." As he just says he can go to his classmates and said he could name his own quirk. As then when he returns back, he explains what his power is. And well, everybody was quite people at first were not too impressed, as it seems like he was just able to create rubber. He was able to create a link between things, but until there was a limit to it. However, over the years, as we now transition to middle school, Deku Deku is much older and a lot more creative and outgoing. He has a bad reputation of beating anybody down that seems to think that they're stronger than him. Even Bakugo. Bakugo's formed quite an inferiority complex over this, and now is a lot more driven to try and beat his childhood friend. I wouldn't No one would call it a rivalry, more like a hatred that seems to help them grow. As well, in this one, Deku's hair isn't green. He dyed it pink. And he has very pale skin for some reason. And not only that, he wears makeup of a teardrop under his left eye. And people were just wondering, well, at the beginning of middle school, people were wondering why he was dressed like a clown. Well, why he looked like a clown. As I bring out a pack of cards they had stashed away in his pocket and perform a few tricks. As he would try to, people would just be watching the card tricks intently. As then he said, "I gotcha." What do you mean you got me? He's like, "I got your wallet." As the kid started penning down his pockets, and then looked in, Izuku's hands. What the? How did you do that? Magic. Bullshit magic. Oh, I'm being serious, but you don't believe me. As, well, some people in the classroom know what he had done, though that person being Bakugo. He noticed that he made his bungee gum invisible, as he was, linked to the student's pants and pulled out the wallet that was hidden inside of it. And without creating the slightest bit of noise, nor bringing attention, as he could now create an invisible line. As well, Izuku starts creating a visible bungee gum cord and starts swinging around the classroom. He's like, "Hey everybody, look what I won!" As he starts swinging it around, basically performing little yo-yo tricks to it, and well, detaching the cord, then reattaching it by throwing a card onto it and sticking the wallet in midair and snapping it back into his hands. As everybody's just wondering, everybody's just laughing at the student's expense, as it was just trying to get his wallet back. As well, Izuku just puts his hand on his shoulder and says, "Ah, sorry about that. I like to have a bit of fun, you see. And I'm not a clown. I just know when to. It is I'm a magician. The makeup is just so people can feel more humiliated when I beat them." As then he sits back down in his seat as the teacher starts bringing up the lesson, as everybody else is half paying attention, half bored to death. As the teacher just goes and puts papers on his desk and say, "Alright everybody, we got career application to fill out." As everybody just goes, come on, teach." As he just throws paper in the air and is like, "I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Well, I know you all want to become heroes." As everybody was just, firing off their quirks and showing off their all unique powers. As, the teacher says, "Alright, alright. Quite impressive, you lot. Quite impressive." However, he says there was one student that was laughing in the back, then, but then after the laughing, another one jumped out of his seat and onto the table and says, "I'm going to UA, and I'll be better than all you extras." As the laughing grows louder and louder, Bakugo turns around and says, "The fuck are you laughing at, you clown?" "I'm laughing at you. You're not, might be a clown, but you're the entire circus." As some people start snickering in the back, as Bakugo says, "You wanna share that out loud?" As everybody else just shuts up. "So, you clown freak, you think you're better than me?" Oh, I don't think I'm better than you, Bakugo. As Bakugo just starts smirking, then Izuku says, I know I'm better than you. As that smirk quickly turns into a grin of anger and fury. It's like, you clown fuckface. As, well, Izuku just flicks one of his cards against, well, that hits Bakugo right in the face, and it sticks right over his mouth as he tries to tear it off, and it's like, you can't interrupt the teacher. Now sit down and be a quiet little dog. As Bakugo tries to lunge at him, as he as Izuku flicks another card, this time hitting the floor, and Bakugo just tries to jump up at him. However, he gets snapped back down and hits the ground with intense force. As the card now actually rips off his mouth, finally. As Izuku just says, well, bet you didn't see that one coming, did ya? I transferred the bungee gum to the floor using the card. So the one that was attached to your face was actually attached to the floor. So you can't blame this one on me, you're just an idiot. As Bakugo just says, you fucking clown! Gonna beat your ass. Oh, you're welcome to try it. Oh, I encourage it, actually. I need some pleasure in my life. After all, everybody here is weak. And some people just want to call out, but after watching him make a spectacular display of Bakugo in front of the whole class, and without even having to raise a finger, just two playing cards, no one could deny what he just said. As he said to the teacher, sorry about the disturbance. I hope you don't mind. Let's just get back on with the lesson, shall we? And the teacher goes, okay, Midoriya. As, well, he hands one of the career papers to Deku as he fills in UA High Hero course. As the teacher just goes, are you sure? Well, I don't think I'm going to get any stronger, and I don't think I'm going to fight anybody stronger without going to UA. Midoriya, what's with that strange tone? Oh, nothing. I just get very excited when I hear somebody being strong. When I see potential. See, the reason why I put up with Bakugo, he has a lot of untapped potential. That's why I don't break his arms every time he tries to talk back. As teacher's quite concerned. Now, I said that's the only reason why I don't. Since he has that potential, he gets to keep his arms from being broken. As the teacher goes, alright, but you do know violence is against the school policy. What you're doing before did cause self-defense, and I was willing to overlook it. But please don't go breaking anybody's arms. Well, if they try and think they're better than me, well, I'd like to see them try. As he just scoffs off and then decides to head out early. The teacher says, where do you think you're going? I'm going home, Teach. It's a bit boring today. And I've already done the work. As he just walks out of the classroom, it's like, the teacher just goes, that's the third time this week. You can't just keep doing this, even if he has the grades to back it up. As then, well, Izuku is leaving and walking away as he walks under a bridge because he wants to take a detour as he was planning to buy some extra makeup as well as a few more playing cards. as then he heard the slide of manhole cover, well, beneath his feet as he jumps back. Then a huge villain starts moving from under the grate, covering it out of the sewers, and saying, "Hey kid, sorry about this, but I'm on the run and all, and I heard people are so nice nowadays that they're willing to hand over just about anything to somebody in need. Well, I happen to be in need of somebody's body, so if you wouldn't mind." As So, do you think you're better than me? Well, if I'm gonna be taking over your body, I need to be better than you. After all, I gotta hide from the police. And that hero. Oh, you think you're better than me? Well, let's put you to the test. You know, try not to waste my time. I want something exciting today. You're a cocky kid. But, I like a bit of attitude in somebody. It won't last for long, though. So just hold your breath. It'll all be over soon. I could say the same to you, Sludge Man. As the sludge villain lunges towards Izuku's, he just jumps back and it's like, "Come on, you that slow?" He keeps trying to lunges, he just jumps back, away, and dodging every single one. "Come on, you said you were gonna catch me. You said you were gonna make this fun. I'm your prey, so catch me." It's like, "You're really annoying, kid, you know?" Well, if you aren't going, if I'm the prey, it's time for the hunter to become the hunted. As he says, the Sludgeman goes, "What?" As Deku pulls up his finger and it starts glowing pink. See, this is what I call bungee gum. It was not very useful in normal society's ways. However, if somebody like me uses it, it's quite fun. As as a pink line starts, tracing its way all the way back towards the sludge villain. As it goes, "What the hell? What is this?" You're an idiot, kid. I made a sludge, you can't harm me. Oh, who said I was trying to harm you? In fact, I'm going to make your landing as soft as possible. Izuku just pulls, pulls the sludge villain towards him, but then he turns and flicks him right. He flicks him right over into a pot that was nearby. Sludge villain lands inside of it. Where am I? Well, uh, he keeps flicking around. Then Izuku kicks the pot into the air. Bungee gum. As well, Izuku just twists his arm round and round around his head as the villain just keeps getting disoriented. What the hell? What the hell are you doing? I'm gonna throw up. Oh, let's just have a bit more fun, shall we? Otherwise, you're just going to be boring, like they always are. As a a large man suddenly bursts around the corner and says, "I am here." As he just sees a very odd sight. A a very tall boy with pinkish neon hair is flinging a pot around in the air as there was a scream coming out from the pot. As as the man says, Um, i- did I come to the right place? I assume you're here for this one. As, well, as he points with his other hand as his, one of his hands is already busy swinging the pot around in the middle of the air. Is that the sludge villain that I was chasing earlier? Well, I don't know exactly, but all I did know is he came up from the sewers and tried to attack me. So I showed him what it was mean to become prey. And now I got him. Well, I'm going to keep myself entertained by flinging him around. As All Might says, alright, you let him down. I think he's had enough. As, ah, that just takes the fun out of it. Right now, young man. Alright then. But don't tell me what to do, All Might. You should respect heroes, young man. Oh, no, I respect heroes a lot. I respect the ones that are stronger than me. You are the number one hero, so you are very strong. I hope I get to fight you one day. Hmm, you're very bold, aren't you? Yes, well, that, I guess I can see that from your appearance as well. Yes, well, I like to keep my style special. Something only to me, as the pot drops out of the air as Deku catches it on his finger, spinning it around, then says, alright, now what can I use as a lid? As Deku just sees, oh, there we go, a plank of wood. As he puts that on top and attaches the plank to the pot with the bungee gum, says, there you go, shouldn't budge now. What'd you what'd you just do? Well, you see, I was swinging around using my quirk, bungee gum. It has the properties of both rubber and gum, you see. Hmm, it's a very interesting one. Or at least the way you use it. Well, a magician's gonna be creative, you know? As he says, magician. Well, look behind. Well, check behind your ear, All Might. As he goes, wait, what? And grabs a card behind, from behind his ear, as it was a joker. And when he turned back, Midoriya was gone. Little did he know. Well, Midoriya was above him. He had pulled himself up with the bungee gum on top of the building. Well, that was an odd sight. He has, he has a lot of potential behind him, yet he's weak. Hmm, it's very odd. Well, that's gonna be exciting to follow up on. As he walks home, and then over the next 10 months after the incident, after the next 10 months, Izuku is training his bungee jump abilities as well as his body, with the reasoning behind it being, well, bungee jump is certainly a very useful ability. However, it doesn't just rely on the quirk itself. It requires my body being strong enough to be able to use it. As, well, Midoriya practices trying to make improvised weapons out of his bungee gum cords by grabbing small like doorknobs, small round objects, and clinging to them with bungee gum, being able to use them as well, makeshift whips, balls and chains, and hell, even dart knives. Uh, well, as well as being able to increase his dexterity by using the bungee gum and by putting it under his feet and being able to jump higher, being able to wrap it around his body and making himself be able to take blows more. He experimented with all kinds of ways he could possibly try to improve his quirk and beat everybody in front of him. Also, to finally be able to cure that hunger for battle that no one's able to fill. The excitement his soul has been searching for. As we get to the day of the UA entrance exam, there was quite a broad range of characters. You have people from Shiketsu Junior High, Ketsubutsu Junior High. Hell, even some people from his own school. There were a few people that stuck out to him, one mainly being Bakugo. But two was a special case. There was a lot of potential behind him, yet he looked boring. Very boring. This boy had purple hair and what seemed like permanent bags under his eyes. I might have to make note of him. He has an aura of dead calm. It's quite fascinating. He is an open book that cannot be read. Yet he has so much potential. Oh, I can just feel the excitement already. I might get to know him. Maybe. Just maybe. As then, his group gets called in. Well, I might see him again one time. As his group heads into the hall to be prepped by President Mike, explaining that the test will be divided into two parts: the written exam and the practical exam. Practical is separated by a points-based system gained by destroying robots and being able to navigate the field while doing so. There's four different robots, however 3 give you points. The 1-point robot, 2-point, and 3-point robots, respectively. As he was about to move on to the last bit of information as a blue-haired boy stood up out of his seat saying, "Excuse me, sir. You clearly glossed over the fourth robot." "Ah, yes. I didn't think I'd need to cover that, but okay." "Okay, so the fourth robot is a special case. It's a 0-point robot. It does not give you any points. It's more there to be a hindrance than anything else." As he says, does that answer your question, young man?" Edith says, "Yes, it does. Thank you very much," and sits down. That one's very tense. Has a lot of diligence behind him, but not enough potential. No one can. I can't find anybody that can satisfy my craving. As Izuku had just walked over to his theory exam as he started to, write down all his answers, as well as, and then just sat up looking bored. As the examiner says, "Why don't you give up already? Go on, I know the test is hard, but it's not that hard." As Izuku says, "No, I finished." Yeah, I see you're an optimist, but stop joking with me, kid." Says, I might look like a clown, but I'm far from it. I'm a magician. Tricks aren't tricks are my thing, but lying is not one of them. And she says, "Yeah, read it for yourself." As he hands the paper to the examiner, as the examiner is shocked. Everything was 100%. And he looked at his watch, thinking, what the hell? What is he? As it's only been 10 minutes. He had gone through the entire exam, which would have taken 2 hours, in 10 minutes. The kid was a genius. And says, alright. So I assume from your short expression that I passed. And she says, yes, hold on. It's like, I'm sorry, I was just wondering if I could leave. Where are you going? Well, now that I'm done, while I wait for this group to be finished, which will certainly take most of them except that one over there, as he points at Yaoyorozu and says, well, everybody other than here will do average, but she will get close. She'll finish earlier than the others, and I reckon she'll do quite good. As he just walks off and out of the room, as Momo looks up, as yes, well, the last thing she saw a tall man with neon hair pointing at her, stating or talking to the examiner. Was he trying to say she cheated? As she had no time for it, well, she'd much rather be completing the answers and went back to her test. As we get to the theory exam, well, where people had just finished up, as well, Izuku was just there practicing or playing with his cards. As one of the participants had come up to him just saying, "Hey man, did you cheat or something? You walked out of the exam after him being shocked." "No, I finished the exam." I know you wouldn't exactly want to admit to cheating, but come on, you can tell us. Not exactly smart. I'm not exactly the smartest tool in the shed here. As he says with a quiet, calm expression, "No, I finished the exam in 15 minutes. Well, 10 minutes actually. People, I had to explain for the next 5 minutes that I didn't cheat and that I was just very smart. Apparently, I don't like to be beaten in any sense, whether it be physically or mentally. I'm and with who I have to deal with, I need to be." As well, he just starts riffling through his cards and doing a few shuffles and a few tricks. As he just says to the boy that had just come and talked to him, "Now, if you're going to question whether or not I cheat in the future, you might want to watch your own back." As he was wondering, what do you mean by that? As somebody just, as he, well, Deku walked away and down the hall, somebody came up behind the boy and just said, dude, do you know you got a card on your back?" As he goes, "Wait, what?" As he goes and pulls it off his shirt and just saw a Joker right there with his face printed on it. That that was so strange. What a strange man. As it was time for the entrance exam. Well, practical portion to start now. As his group, well, as his group was getting ready to start, President Mike, um, President Mike was just saying, "Make sure everybody gets ready." As the gates start opening, and then, well, the gates start opening, well, Izuku instantly started running forward as everybody going, dude, you're gonna get disqualified. And it's like, nobody tells me when to start. I start when I want to. After all, I do what I want as a hero. As he swings, as he swings out of the gate at high speeds towards one of the robots, delivering a fierce kick into its side, sending it flying to another one. And says, "See, that's quite fun. Let's hope this can keep me entertained for a bit longer." As he goes up, grabs two pieces of rubble that fell onto the ground, and then t- grabs one of the shards. He drags his finger up, and then taps the shard as he pulls the shard along back across his arm, and says, "Bungee Gamu Cannon!" as he hurls the shard of metal straight into a 3-point robot's head as it collides and explodes right next to another one, taking out and snagging himself 6 more points. Now let's try out all I've learned. As, well, Deku would just be decimating the robots and putting them together. People were in shock. What is this quirk? Is it laser beams or something? As people were just watching in awe at just the sheer validity of uses his being able to use quirk. It's quite impressive. As it was finally getting is as things were finally starting to calm down, he thinks to himself, "Man, I'm bored already. Why can't anything give me a challenge? Everything is so boring. I want excitement for once." As then he feels a rumble on the floor. Well, finally, something exciting. As he throws a rock towards the wall and pulls himself forward using the bungee gun that was attached. As he's now climbing on top, he now climbs on top of the building to see the giant 0-point robot. Well, this should be quite some. This should keep me entertained for a bit more. As he jumped, as he jumped down onto the robot, thinking, "What can I do?" As he just thinks, "What's the most logical way for him to destroy the robot? Why, none other than having it destroy itself." As he prepares a huge web of bungee gum as he springs across the city, building to building, lining up a huge web as it walks straight into it, and it stops dead in its tracks. The gum stretches as the buildings to the side of it collapse onto the robot, absolutely crushing it. People were just shocked. It says, "What did he do?" As well, some of the building debris started hurling towards some people as they were flinching, like waiting, scared for their lives, as that as all the debris stopped in midair. And so, like, wait, what? Why is it in the air? As slowly, after the debris had touched the invisible web that's now gleaming into its famous pink color. Wait, are you saying that he set that up before he attacked the robot, knowing he would do that? As he was just laughing to himself as he would dance across the web of bungee gum, throwing cards along, aiming them perfectly in between some robots and slinging them into his web. Then, towards the end, he'd give a finale piece. Let's have a piece of blooming destruction, shall we? As he snaps his finger and all the bungee gum that was attached to the buildings slammed together, the pieces of debris and the robots caught in the bungee gum all slammed together in one huge explosion. As he just hops down, as he hops down in front of the explosion where everybody was just shocked and watching in awe, as he bows down as the President Mike says, "The time is up." Well, that was quite fun. Looks like I performed my duties as a magician. And this is where I'm going to end part 1 to What If Deku Was Hisoka. I hope you guys enjoyed the series. This was requested in my comment section, so thank you to whoever suggested it. I'm sorry if I can't remember your name right now, but I do thank you for the great idea. And yeah, I hope. Well, I've been the King of Underworld, and I hope you've all enjoyed.